Triggers in Workflow Studio provide event-driven automation that initiates workflows when specific conditions are met. This capability transforms complex trigger creation into a streamlined process for low-code users. Triggers initiate workflows when system events occur, serving as the foundation for automations such as flows. Low-code users face overwhelming complexity navigating thousands of tables, schemas, and conditions. Saved triggers provide pre-configured definitions selectable with one click. We start at the Workflow Studio homepage and navigate to create a new trigger that activates when a P1 incident is created. Select New Trigger to begin creating a saved trigger definition that can be reused across multiple flows. We enter the trigger name as P1 Incident Created. The trigger type is set to Created to activate when new records are added. The application is kept global, and we can modify properties or keep the default settings. We click Build Trigger to proceed to the definition screen. Next, we select the incident table as the data source that will be monitored for trigger activation. We specify the condition by setting priority to P1. This ensures the trigger only activates high-priority incidents requiring immediate attention. These toggles control whether other users can view the conditions or add additional conditions when they reuse this trigger in their flows. Advanced options can be modified or kept as defaults depending on specific requirements. Most use cases work well with standard settings. We publish the trigger to make it available for use in other automations. Publishing creates a reusable trigger definition that multiple automations can leverage. Now we return to the Workflow Studio homepage to show how the saved trigger can be used in flows. We navigate to the Flows section and select the existing critical incident flow. We edit this flow and add our trigger. The saved trigger appears in the selection list for easy reuse across different workflows. Additional conditions can be added if needed. The saved trigger provides the foundation while allowing customization for specific flow requirements. For this example, we don't need additional conditions, so we select Done. When we come back to the trigger, we can see that this trigger is already created and is being used in a flow. The saved trigger can be edited to accommodate changing business requirements. To do this, we click Edit Trigger. We add a new condition to the existing trigger configuration. Let's select Active is True to ensure the trigger only processes active records. When we publish changes, the system shows which flows currently use this saved trigger. This allows administrators to evaluate the impact before applying updates. We can open the affected flow directly to see if this change will make sense here. Opening the trigger within the flow shows the current configuration and allows flow owners to assess whether centralized changes are appropriate for their use case. If this change in the trigger doesn't fit into the flow, then we can detach this flow from the trigger. When this happens, the existing trigger conditions are copied into the flow, so the flow keeps working as it is. Let's select Done. Now we go back to the trigger and publish it. The editing process is complete, and the updated trigger is available for other flows, while the detached flow maintains its original configuration. Triggers in Workflow Studio provide powerful automation foundations that scale across organizations. To learn more, see our product documentation or knowledge base, or ask a question in the ServiceNow community.